and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'm a
Peace, and welcome to another episode of Elevate the Mic, and I'm your host, Max Mupese. Today, I'm joined by a guest who's a singer-songwriter, pop star, somebody you need to know and somebody you need to learn about, who's been making moves and constantly building in the city of Montreal. Let us all welcome Christian John. How you feeling, man?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Pleasure.
Hey, what's been going through your mind these days?
What's been going through my mind these days is just making moves, you know what I'm saying? Moving silent, but you know what I'm saying, making the proper moves and just focusing on the music and what to release and you know what I'm saying, the dates and so forth. But that's what I've been like focused on.
100%, man.
Yeah, man.
You said the release, the dates. Sometimes those are the things that could either stress us or even confuse us to a point where like, okay, am I sure about releasing it? So how do you put yourself in a mindset of like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna overkill things and just not overstress and just release it whenever I feel like releasing it.
Not to really like music is just straight like vibration, what you feel, right?
Yeah.
So you just go off your vibration and how you feel, and that's what I feel like people are gonna reciprocate, like you know, like the message in the music. So not put too much pressure on releases, not put too much pressure on, or take the music too serious. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
You
good
know what I'm
one.
saying? That's basically like the way I view it.
That's a good one. Not taking the music too serious. I
Yeah.
like that. Now let's bring it back to the early beginnings. You were born in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Grew up in Montreal and then spent some time in the States. Could you tell us about some of the lessons you've learned throughout your journey, specifically growing up in Montreal and then leaving and going to the States?
Okay, so I was born in Jamaica, in St. Catharines, Spanish Town. This is like the province, but in Jamaica we call it their parishes, beside Kingston. My parents migrated here in the early 90s or late 80s. I came here in like 94, 95. And, but I started singing at 7 years old, like in the church, around family, just outside. And I first migrated in Toronto, and then was back and forth from Toronto to New York. Had a recording contract in New York that fell through, bounced back there. Took my chances in Montreal for love. And now we here. But as far as the music scene out here, I find the music scene is very, very like dope out here. But I just find it like if we have more of a togetherness type of, we'll strive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Would you say basically those are the lessons you've learned, contrary to what you saw in Toronto or even what you saw in New York for the most part? Like Montreal would be a lot further if we had that specifically?
Oh, most definitely. The talent is like crazy out here. The talent is like, there's great talent, like the sounds, the rap, the sonics, everything, like the R&B, even R&B, like we're lacking even in R&B. Like the love in the music is all about like, you already know, you know, the cliches, but for lack of a better term is we just need to stay together and like push each other. Or artists support artists, producers support producers and DJs and so forth. But like in New York, like people help each other. Like and I'll even take it a step further. Like Atlanta, when you go to Atlanta, because I've been to Atlanta too. When you go to Atlanta, Atlanta basically plays 90% of local artists, Atlanta artists.
Yo.
90%. The other 10% is like the rest of the world. But all the DJs, all the radio station will bump only Atlanta music. So that's why they took off and they kind of like absorbed the music industry so much. Whereas Montreal, there's so like small pockets of like my crew's over here, and we're not trying to make it work, you know? So
What you said about Atlanta makes me think of something DJ Who Kid once said when he got booked for a show in UK. One of the first things the UK promoters were looking for, or even the people in the UK was saying, that they had a standard they had to, like, the DJ has to play a certain amount of UK songs or from the local artists. Would you say that standard could be realistic in the city at this moment? Or
in Montreal?
Yes.
Of course. It's the DJs. Like it all starts with the DJs. Like people don't understand. Like there's streaming platforms, but before the streaming platforms, it's DJs and radios. It's the DJs who actually break the record on the radio. It's not the streaming platform that breaks the record. It's the people in the clubs or the people in the streets that's bumping your music. You know what I'm saying? That actually help break your record. So it's the DJs. If the DJs will play the local artists, if you go on a radio station right now, the DJs are playing only top 40. But then you have amazing talent here in the city that you can put beside the major artists, like pound for pound. The records are like crazy, you know. But it's just the DJs got to break the records, man. You know what I'm saying?
I like that you're saying that. Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, or even people like to say God's advocate. I say, yo, there's social media right now. I don't necessarily need the DJ to break me. What would you tell that person? Like, because that person could utilize TikTok and can constantly push their music and then create dances to their music. So would you say that in today's times, it's less prevalent or less important, or it's just as important as when people say, you know, you play your music on the radio? There's still an impact.
Of course, there's an impact. Of course, TikTok is like, it took the world by storm, like social media. But TikTok is marketed in the world. You as a local artist is not marketed to the world. What about your city? Because if you can't make the noise in your city, like, yeah, you can get booked outside of, like, say, you get booked in the US for a city. But when you come back to your city, nobody knows you if the DJs ain't playing it and the radio station ain't playing it. Who knows you? You know what I'm saying? Who really knows you?
Right. The power still holds on.
Of course. Radio still have impact. The DJ still have impact because the DJ is going to constantly keep your name on the radio. In rotation, and people saying in the streets, like, hey, you know, there's a guy named such and such, or there's a female named such and such. She's dope. Word of mouth is just as good as social media, you know?
Got it.
So word of mouth also helps you. Hey, yo, you know that artist such and such? Okay, yo, let me go on social media and find it. It goes hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yeah, I get that 100%. One thing I noticed about singer and songwriters, I want to bring it back to the fact that you're a singer-songwriter, and you started at 7, you said?
Yes,
7.
sir.
Would you say that it was easier for you to make rap songs also, even as a singer-songwriter, even as a singer?
Like, of course. Yeah. You develop, like, flow. Me being Jamaican, to be honest, like, it helped me a lot. Like, no disrespect to no other culture, but, like, we're chameleons when it comes to, like, flows and vibes and all that stuff. So, me being that, I could dabble into rap, do reggae, do dancehall, do, like, a lot of hip-hop, R&B, you know what I'm saying? So, it helped me a lot. It opened my horizon brought my horizon to a lot of things.
Got it. And you never really saw yourself sticking to one lane. You always told yourself you could do more than just singing or even rapping.
Of course. Like, why? It's music. It's art. Like, why limit my art? If I can make a reggae song on the same level as an R&B song, why limit that? Sure. If I can do a dancehall song on the same level as a pop song, why limit that? Or a soul song or a gospel song, why limit my art? It's art. It's just an expression, you know what I'm saying? And it's always a message, so why limit the message?
Speaking of art and limiting messages, what's a common mistake you see a lot of artists making whenever you collaborate with them, or even when you observe how they release their music and whatnot?
A common mistake is, me, I have the same thing too. We think the music is just for us. But the music is actually for the world. You can't make music for yourself. You're making it for people too, right? So we tend to hold on to it, like, you know, hold hostage to the music. Yo, let the message go. You know what I'm saying? Let that positive energy go out in the world. You never know who you gonna help, like, you know what I'm saying, and who's going through a rough time, like whose life you could save. You know what I'm saying? So let that music go out, man.
It reminds me of the idea of having a scarcity mindset, even when it comes down to making money or having money. Like, you hold on to that dollar too long, but you got to let it flow, invest it, put it somewhere, you know, give back to a community. So if you're able to do that, then you're going to get more in abundance at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Shoot.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of abundance, what's something that you're currently experiencing, whether it's, you know, in your art form and your personal life, that's giving you more abundance at this very moment?
Love.
Mm.
Love.
Shit, and we need to highlight that one. That's a good one.
Love is everything, bro.
Okay.
Music is love. Like, art is love. To have heart without love, like creating art without love, it's not art. You know what I'm saying? So love is in everything with me, my relationship with life, period. Like, if you listen to any of my music, there's no derogatory type of language. It's all about love or uplifting people. So you gotta, it's love, man. Love is everything. Love conquers everything.
Facts.
And that's what's lacking in music too. You know, the love. We substitute the love for somebody liking. Like, for instance, IG. Someone liking you, you get it confused with the heart that it's love. It's just a like. You know what I'm saying?
It's your perspective.
Yeah,
You really,
yeah. I pay attention to a lot of things. I'm very like observant. Like, I lay back, but I pay attention to a lot of things. But love is everything, man. We do everything you do. If you do it with a passion, it's love involved. Just think about it. You're doing this right now. The love and the passion that you have for this, why you're doing it.
True.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So could you give us an example also of like how love definitely changed something out of your life, whether it's like, you know, making music or even in a scenario where you were down on your luck but you needed love in order to bounce back?
Like just being single, and then you move to a different city and you find love, and then new inspiration comes into play. Like, you just start getting these crazy inspirations, waking up 4 a.m., creating these music. But when you're by yourself and you don't have love in the equation, like, you can love yourself so much, only so much, but once you get yourself to that stage, you need to have love, to reciprocate love from, whether it's music, another significant other, or anything you do, but by just changing your life around. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot. And also, it's like a battery on your back, right?
Of course.
You know, the person that's going to be in your life is just going to add more value.
Yeah, you support. When you have someone that actually loves you, genuinely loves you for who you are, and support what you do, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a plus, because as an artist, it's hard when you do have a partner and they don't understand, like, the sacrifices you make to create art, or, you know, the late nights, or just say the club gigs, or, you know what I'm saying, just the time and effort that you put into the record. When you don't understand it, it's hard. But when you have someone that they do the exact same thing as you, they understand, you guys have a mutual understanding, you have a love for this, it's way easier. You have that great supportive system and that battery in your back that charges you every day. You know?
How did that happen? Like, because you also talk about what we know that you're with Trilla.
Yes, sir.
She's your wife. How did that happen? Like, how did you guys tell yourselves, okay, let's make this plan happen and build an empire together? Because sometimes it could be a situation where, like, a person sees it better than the other, or depending on how they see it, and egos get involved. But how did you manage to, like, keep the egos in check and say, okay, we're going to do this for the greater good of the family and what we're doing?
It started, obviously, like, we mutually reach out to each other on Instagram, because like, I'm a songwriter as well as an artist, and she was looking for, like, different sounds and records and stuff. So we started, like, building a friendship for almost a year. Just like friendship.
Music, just
friendship, just friendship and music.
That's important.
Yeah, that's important.
Very important
in life,
man.
Just building a friendship with someone before you even enter a relationship. You get to know that everybody has, like, flaws or whatever, but you get to know the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons, right? And then I mutually moved out here, and you know what I'm saying? And you gotta kind of scale back your ego and check yourself, because like, having an ego,
for men, that's tough.
Yeah,
man. All of us, man.
For me, no, not for me, man. Like, I grew up with a mama. Like, my mama's different. She built different.
Okay.
You have
she
no,
let,
like,
she let you know.
Yeah, this pride thing and this ego thing. Put that to the side, brother. You understand? That's you know what I'm saying? So she just said, yo, when you love someone, yo, you don't have an ego, you don't have a pride. You know what I'm saying? You just work through it. You know what I'm saying? We all come with baggages. We all come with, like, our do's, like, not our do's and don'ts. We all come with our own, like, flaws and our own traumas. But when you put all that aside and start working together, like, togetherness as a unit, yo, it's easier. Like, obviously we have challenges, but yo, just to talk, just communication. The key is communication. If you know how to communicate, I'm a great listener too. Like, I'm a great listener, like, and I'm good at, like, and I love perspective, because life is about perspective. You got to be able to understand other people's perspective too. What if, you know what I'm saying? So the shoe was on the other foot, like, how would you feel?
Yeah.
So that's a major thing, you know what I'm saying?
Like you said, perspective. It reminds me of a meme that was circulating on the internet. There's two people. There's a number 6 on one side and number 9, depending on which side a person is on. That's a number 6, but the other one's saying number 9. But you could agree to disagree. You know,
it's about perspectives, right?
That's important. Now, speaking of childhood music, could you give us a few examples or stories where you had to overcome certain things throughout your path of, you know, becoming an artist? Because sometimes what happens is, like, we get influenced by outside, and there's a lot of outside influences that happen, and you know, it veers us off. We don't necessarily stay focused. So could you give us an example of, like, a moment that happened throughout your childhood that kind of made you lose track or lose focus of what you were supposed to do, your purpose, and then you actually bounce back from it?
That's a great question. Not my childhood, maybe my teens, like my uncle. My uncle is a reggae legend too.
Shout out to him.
DJ Iroy.
Yeah.
Iroy.
DJ.
If you look up the first video game, Grand Theft Auto, his song was on there. Sidewalk Killer, Sidewalk Doctor. That's my uncle. My mom's brother. He had songs even with Bob Marley. A lot of people. So I come from a lineage of a lot of, like, musicians and singers, songwriters. But when my uncle passed away, it kind of affected my mental a lot, because, like, he inspired me a lot by him not even knowing that. He inspired me a lot to wanting to chase. I know for a fact my uncle had more albums. He had over, to my knowledge, over 70 studio albums.
Nah,
recorded.
you serious, man?
I'm my mama, dog.
God damn, man.
That I know. There's more. 70 studio albums recorded. Go look it up. And I wanted to chase that, with the mentality of chasing that. But when he passed away, it kind of put a hole in my heart, because if he was around, a lot of things would have went different for me musically, you know, and his knowledge and just his name stamped in this business. But it also, by losing something you love, you gain a lot of survival abilities to strive for, you know what, with this lesson, I'm going to take this as a lesson and strive, you know, and put it into something positive. So that helped me to start, like, taking my, like, songwriting serious. Like, you know, obviously I love singing and doing, like, performing, but I think I love songwriting more. Like, the pleasure of, pleasure of, like, writing something and hearing someone else, like, articulate it, like, even in their way, interpret it a different way. But then the credentials that come behind it, that's me, like, yo, that shit is dope. That's better than fame. That's like that's my drug. Like, to look on my wall and see a plaque with, like, your name on it saying, yo, or you are a part of that. Bro.
Like the building process.
What?
Listen.
Bro. That.
You touched on your uncle. Would you say Uncle Iroy? Would you say he was a mentor or a coach for the most part, or, like, he indirectly? Because sometimes he could be a mentor, and then
of course
he just leads by example.
Of course, a major mentor. Like, just listening to like, how he sing, how he, like, DJs, like, how he plays notes, just taking a lot of stuff in, like, just taking it in and learning different textures of my voice. He's a big mentor.
Would you say that, because as you evolve as an artist, it's always important to be surrounded with people who have the same mindset as you, or even have a little bit more experience than you? Could you attest to the fact that every time you grow, you need, quote unquote, mentors, or somebody who sees it from a different perspective in order to keep you in check, or even ground yourself as an artist?
100%. It's, they say a fish, if I'm not mistaken, a fish could go as big as the tank you put him in, or a shark. Right? If you put a shark in a small tank, that's how big he grows. But if you, so it's like, you got to put yourself in an environment, like, you know what I'm saying? if you hang around 6 millionaires, the chances are you'll be the 7th, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, and people are gonna inspire you, and you take from what you take from them, and you add your things to it and evolve. That's how you evolve. You evolve by learning from other people or pay attention to, you know what I'm saying? Your surroundings or whatever. Of course.
Speaking of surroundings, you have over 15 years of experience in the game.
Definitely.
Worked with a lot of great names. You work with Karl Wolf.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Sean Paul at one point too.
No, not Sean Paul. Jeez, what's his name?
Close to that name, right?
Yeah.
And let's speak it into existence. You'll eventually work with Sean Paul. Let's just say that.
Hell yeah.
and like, what would you say is something you've realized about a lot of these people, like their mindset and how they approach making music, and what separates them from the actual artists that you see on a day-to-day?
I think just the hunger and just relentless, just, you know what I'm saying, just being in the studio or being in an environment of music and inspiration, just being relentless. Because me, I like you can ask Trilla every day. It's either I'm listening to beats or YouTube, and I'll come up with songs like just going crazy. Like, she's like, yo, what's going on with this guy? Like, sometimes I'll be in the house and I'm locked in for like hours, just, and I'm not writing on pen, just boom.
Jeez. Just
creating flows, boom, okay, I got a verse, I got a hook, boom, on to the next beat. Creating vibes. And she'll be like, oh, that's hard. I'll be like, okay, you get that. You know, and I just you got to be relentless and just keep sharpening your craft. If you sharpen your craft, man, I'm telling you, non-stop. Because there's no age. People look at it like, oh, you got to be a certain age to be music. Times is changing. It's in the 80s no more.
Speaking of times, it's changing, man. When I think of the music business, it keeps changing. It keeps evolving whatsoever. What are you most proud of when you look at today's game? And what do you, pretty much I would say, what's a bittersweet feeling of today's music business, or how you look at it?
The bittersweet part about it is just having social media at like
your disposal, right?
Disposal, just like that, and your music could just touch, like, reaching the world. You know what I'm saying? You never know who may be inspired by it. But also the streaming kind of like peel you back. Like, a lot of people look at it like, oh, I'm streaming, but you gotta understand, if you understand the business side of the music, you understand that streaming kind of like hurt you as an artist too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Before, just say hypothetically, before you would get 10 cents for a spin on the radio. I'm just giving you a hypothetical. Streaming, you get a 1/10 of a penny. That's crazy. And then you have someone that puts a price on. So put it this way, you Max created this crazy music, this amazing sound, this metaphors, these dope like lyrics, melodies that touches people. Like, you created that. You then pay say $300 to record, mix, master. Like, say you spend $500 to do all that. For then someone to take it and say, hey man, I like this, but I'm gonna pay you what I want to pay you.
Jeez, man.
So forget about what you invested. We haven't touched marketing yet.
Right.
Forget about what you invested in that, with your blood, sweat, and tears,
Studio
with your
time,
art, studio time, and mixing and mastering your record, your craft, and even shooting a video. Say you spend $2-3 grand shooting a video, all that. You know, but then we're gonna turn around and pay you. Each million streams, you get 2,500. So it's kind of bittersweet. Like, you gotta look at it from that perspective too. So it kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of put a damper on the game.
Right.
But it helps you independently too. To stand on your own too, to release when you want to release. You don't have to depend on a major. There's so many distribution platforms around where you can just sign up and get your song distributed too. And you know, and if and it may get on a playlist, it might end up in a territory of people saying, hey, we love this. So that's the sweet part. But the bitter part is how the labels have like just manipulate you from the vinyls to the CDs to now streaming.
Dangling the carrot.
Whoa.
Hey, watch it. You
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
get millions. Just keep watching.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So
Okay, yeah. I get your point, because it could be confusing for an upcoming artist that sees it for the first time and tells himself,
course.
okay, now these labels are able to push my music. You said marketing too, like, okay, they're gonna put the the songs on the radio. They're gonna talk about me, but like at the end, what's the trade off? Are you really getting paid or?
No, you're not, because
You know?
all the labels do. The labels do now is they give you a budget. Okay, you got a budget. Okay, we give you $500,000. Out of the $500,000, you get
And that's
100,000 in your pocket.
Not to cut you off. You said budget, and that's an advance.
An advance,
Is it right?
Sorry, an advance. Yeah.
Let them know.
You get 100,000 in your pocket. 400K is for like your advance, the budget to work on your album. So you go into a studio, you spend X, Y, Z, but the studio is actually partners with the label. So you getting, there's a lot of back doors. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
the first
You gotta
one.
look at it from that. It's all relationship. But put it this way: everything is relationship. It's all relationship. The labels, the studios, relationship.
Damn.
The endorsement, the labels got a relationship. So the endorsement, Nike be like, "Hey man, we like you," but the CEO with the label and the CEO of Nike, they're like this.
And better.
You know what I'm saying?
Business.
So Nike say, "Oh, we're gonna sign. We're gonna give you like $4 million," but the label takes like how much % off that? Then your manager get a cut. But then at the end of the day, you get peanuts, but then you gotta pay back all that money.
Recoup.
Recoup, man.
Come on, man.
They already recouped the monies, anyways.
Yeah, that's,
You started in the hole, right? You start in the hole already right away with the advance. But nowadays, it all depends on how your financial situation is set up. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have it, but you can still put it out there, and it just might go viral on TikTok, which is a benefit, or Instagram or something. You know, so.
I remember going to a Master P conference, and he said something that I keep in mind. He's like, never do business when you're desperate.
Facts.
So could you tell us how, because there's always moments in an artist's life when they're like, am I really going to do this full time? Can I afford this? I have a job. I'm not able to pay my bills. Like, could you tell us how important was it for you to not move desperately while maintaining that mindset of telling yourself, okay, I'm going to become a full-time artist living off of this, or I'm going to be able to do it one day?
Oh, that's a good question. When you're desperate, you're signed for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you say, they dangling the carrot, you're signed for anything. But in my opinion, it's not what you sign for, it's what you negotiate. That's the knowledge in it. You know what I'm saying? You can sign for $1 million, or you can negotiate. Look, I understand you're putting up $1 million, but just give me 50K. You know what I'm saying? I get everything on the back end. So it's what you negotiate. So I'm not in the hole for $1 million. I'm only in the hole for 50K. So it's what you negotiate. It's not what you say. That's why you can't be desperate, because you're signing your life away for anything. Oh, $150,000. Oh, $1 million. But out of the $1 million,
the patience comes in.
Come on, bro. Yo, out of the $1 million, you're not seeing $1 million. It sounds good. Yo, taxes. You gotta pay taxes, bro. When the tax man come at the end of the month, like, at the end of the year, yo, brother, you gotta leave my tux. You know?
It's not like the IRS is here.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
When you're in the States, you got IRS, but here, even then,
you still gotta pay tax, right? But so it's what you negotiate. It's never what you, like, when you're desperate, you sign for anything. You gotta negotiate. It's what you negotiate is what makes it better. You know what I'm saying? But also, it comes with having leverage. Like, if you have a buzz,
your
negotiation becomes very different. But if you don't, well, you'll take your time and you get there anyways, right? Eventually you'll get there. If you, consistency is like going to the gym, man. Yo, if you keep on working out the right way, you're gonna see results.
True.
You know?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
100%. Now, I want to move on to the segment called If I Had the Chance To. So if I had the chance to is when you're in front of your 16-year-old self, face to face, you look at all of the decisions you've made and whatnot. What would be the first thing to come to mind and tell that person that's watching this right now? 16-year-old
good.
version
That's
of
a cool
Christian.
question. Oh my God. What would I tell myself at 16? Bro, focus on you. Everybody can't go, man. Can't help everybody. And the problem, like my problem is I was trying to help everybody. And put myself last and putting other people before me. That was, I would have told myself that. I would have taught myself that at a young age.
Like avoid being a people pleaser. Or
Not
like
necessarily
pleasing.
people, like help people, if you want to say that. You know, for lack of a better term, yeah. But helping people, or helping people that's not deserving of that.
Right.
And putting them in a position You know what I'm saying? Because said people don't even pay it forward, not per se to me, but pay it forward to even someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would tell myself that.
And then there's resentment, ungratefulness.
Yeah. Man. You know?
100%. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years and 10-year plus?
The next 3 to 5 years, like, yo, obviously we got like a lot of stuff is top secret because, yo, you move in silence. We got some partnerships circulating around the place right now. And we got a label situation going on.
Congrats, man.
With some great partners, you know, top secret.
Yeah.
And some nice movements is happening. As you can see the video with Dice B and, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Dice B, the whole team. You know who you are, and they're gonna see it. 3-year plan, obviously releasing music, doing a lot of videos. Just taking over this game and making our name in this industry out here in MTL for sure. Like, people gonna know who we are. 10-year plan is like helping other artists, like, you know, reaching their goals, obviously, like, you know, and also being a producer, like, not necessarily making beats or
Quincy Jones type shit.
but
like,
produce exactly Quincy Jones type movements, you know what I'm saying? From behind the scenes. I like the behind the scenes work, but helping other artists like the right way, not taking advantage of artists. Yo, man, helping artists and the label striving and signing other artists and putting them out there.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
That's it. A few final words. How do you want to be remembered?
Real, authentic, someone respected with morals. I don't really care too much about loyalty.
Why not?
Because people could be loyal to you for the wrong reasons. So, but if you have morals and respect, then you have everything. I think I could be loyal to you just because you got money. I benefit from that. But if I respect you and I have morals, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I respect you because of who you are, not for what I could gain.
That's a good one.
So respect, my moral compass, loving, giving, relentless, and visionary.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That embodies your story.
Yes, sir.
Just keep it like that, man. Listen, any final words? Anything you wouldn't tell the people? How they could follow you, whatnot?
You can follow me on Instagram, Christian John Music. On across all platforms, just like that, Christian John Music. And also, just the DJs, man. Yo, play all the music, man. Play all the local artists, man. Like, what's going on? Artists, let's tap in with other artists, man. Let's help each other. Producers, let's help each other. Why keep this music for yourself, dog? It's not for us, it's for the world. But my main goal is the people out here is, yo, stop being so selfish. Selfish and selfless don't get us nowhere. Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We gotta pay it forward. You know, so the younger generation could see that and pay it forward and keep Montreal, create this whole industry. Toronto had it. You know what I'm saying? It's Montreal's turn. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We gotta kick the door down now. Like, you know, but we gotta work together. You know what I'm saying? We gotta unify and work together. And like I said, DJs, man, like, come on. Shout out to DJ Rossi, because he's the only one that I see, in my opinion, but my music and a lot of other artists' music. Dice B as well that does that. And Trilogy. But Rossi's the only one I see, like, really out there bumping the music and pushing them and pushing the local artists heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's a real one.
If you could sing a 16 for us, that touches on what you just mentioned, the importance on love and caring and, you know, community. Share it with us. I feel like it's gonna touch the people, definitely.
If you believe you can achieve what you're striving for, Open your eyes, free your mind. There's so much in store. If you believe it, oh, you can achieve it, yeah. Listen, never let your problems get you down. Oh no, gotta stay strong and hold your ground. Yeah, so many obstacles we climb. But don't you give up now. Have faith, keep holding on. Vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, that was food for soul, man.
Yes, sir.
Really, really enjoy it, man. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you.
And keep being a stand-up person because it's felt and it's real, you know.
Appreciate
Just
you.
what you're building. I'm inspired by the fact that, you know, you have a partner and you have a family and you guys are building together.
Yes, sir.
The correct way, you know, showing out love and being authentic. Just keep on keeping on, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Appreciate you.
Love, man. Likewise.
Always. There you have it. Another episode of Elevate the Mic, where we elevate the mindset and skill sets of individuals who are part of the hip-hop community. Peace.
Peace.
Holla, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know where the problem